Hello and welcome to the correspondent.pk. This is your host Faraz Saeed, and today we have a very phenomenal guest with us, Mr. Zahid Latif. Mr. Zahid Latif is a celebrity in the sense that he has been a veteran businessman in capital markets. He has been the chairman of Islamabad Stock Exchange, Lahore Stock Exchange. He was also one of the pioneer member in creating one of the largest REIT in Pakistan. He has also been, in fact, has been the chairman and the leader of Rawalpindi Chamber of Commerce for a very long period of time. And today we are here sitting with him to gauge him in a sense to understand what is his vision and how he looks at the country's economy, at Pakistan's stock market, and we'll look into how his journey has been so far. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm so grateful that, and for such a lengthy and detailed introduction. But I would like to call myself a student of the capital market. Actually, मैं थोड़ा सा आपको आपने जो इंट्रोडक्शन में कहा है उसके हवाले से मैं थोड़ा सा मज़ीद एक्सप्लेन कर दूँ. So there were 3 stock exchanges in Pakistan: Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad. So Lahore and Islamabad stock exchanges have been ceased to exist. Now they have been converted into NBFCs with the license of REIT for ISE and with the license of financial services for the LSE. So luckily I am the chairman of both these companies. In ISE I've been the chairman for the last 6 years, and this is my 3rd tenure. Which will again would be for 3 years, and for LSE Financial Services, where we are sitting right now, I have become the chairman for the first time. So my main profession is stock exchange in the brokerage business. So Alhamdulillah, Zahid Latif Khan Securities is one of the largest brokerage house in the north of Pakistan. We have got 9 branches. Also, I am the vice chairman of All Pakistan Stock Broker Association, which is the central body for the broker community for the entire country. So this is my passion regarding the capital market.
So, Mr. Zahid, if I may, so Pakistan stock market has been a volleyball which has been tossed here and there, and in the previous past 4 months, we were supposed to secure a $900 million loan from the IMF. But whereas Pakistan stock market alone has lost over about $3 billion in terms of capitalization. And you being, the leader of the association and, being in the stock market for a very longer period of time, and now the chairman of, the Islamabad Stock Exchange and Lahore Stock Exchange, what do you feel? Where is this headed to?
So, there has been a tough ride for the capital market in Pakistan. So if you go back, we start from early 90s, because in 90s India and Pakistan both made the reforms, and due to those reforms in Pakistan, the capital market was open for the foreign investors, and there were a lot of new commercial banks came into being, the leasing companies came. So but unfortunately, there has been a lot of hiccups in Pakistan's economy and the political landscape. So we have been seeing the successive change of governments in 90s. Then we saw the nuclear explosion. Then we saw the coup in 1999. Then we also saw briefly the Kargil war. And then there was a 2000 came. And then after the coup, there was a lot of uncertainty. There was a negative return on the capital market. But then what happened when then Pakistan was realized all over the world, and the money kept on flowing to Pakistan, and then we saw 2001 till 2008, there was a boom in the stock market. Then it was international meltdown in 2008, and because of that we also suffered. Our stock market was closed for 3 months, which was unprecedented in the history of Pakistan. Then it opened in 2009, 10, and most of the part of 11 was also bad for the capital market. Then in year 2012 and onwards, market started behaving very, very good. So it was being declared one of the best performing stock market in the world. So what happened in 2017, Pakistan's capital market was upgraded from the frontier market to the emerging market. But at that time there was again political uncertainty. The then PMLN government was removed. The Prime Minister Mia Nawaz was removed by the Supreme Court, and then we saw the decline of the stock market. May 2017 was the highest, and you talked about the market capitalization. At that time, our market capitalization was 100 billion US dollars, because dollar was at that time 110 Pak rupees versus $1. So now, unfortunately, the market after 6-7 years, the market is now 35 billion US dollars only, which is very pathetic situation. It happened because of two reasons. So one was the devaluation of Pak rupees. From 110 it went to 210, and the second thing was the market went down. There was a brief period in COVID when there was a lot of relaxation given by the international lending agencies to Pakistan, and then the commodity prices crashed all over the world. And because of those two reasons, the Pakistan stock market performed very well. And from May 2020 to May 2021.
21, yes.
And since May 21, the market is not going up anymore; it's going down actually. And then we saw again extreme political uncertainty, and then we saw the no confidence move. And then there was the new government, which was uncertain about the future direction, and they took more than 1 month in deciding whether they should be going to IMF or not, and we saw a lot of uncertainty. So this is the journey of Pakistan.
Of Pakistan stock market. But you see, so Pakistan stock market, so in a country that we live in, it will always be marred with socio-political instability. We have seen such a scene throughout the past 70 years. But on the same front, other sectors have grown. For instance, real estate has grown. For instance, commodity markets have grown. But stock market, the equity market, the capital market is the only market which has been suffering throughout and through fear. The problem is, and the best person to answer, why don't we have a common front for the government to represent stock market, to represent capital market? Because again, when we see a free fall in the stock market because of any political uncertainty, because of the change in government, because of the delays in IMF deal, why don't we have stability measures to support Pakistan stock market from the free fall?
Yes, our regulator is Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan. Earlier, before the demutualization of the stock exchanges, the broker would themselves were taking care of the stock markets affairs, day-to-day affairs, and the decision making. But after the demutualization happened, there was an independent directors nominated by the Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan. But having said this thing, we have seen that SECP has been playing a very productive role in taking care of the stock market. Whatever the concessions or whatever, for that matter, the anomalies we identify in the budget speech, or for that matter, the policy of government of Pakistan, the SECP takes side with the capital market and always advocacy to do the advocacy for rectifying these things. Moreover, the problem is that in our country, the companies are making phenomenal profits. You can see their dividend history and their growth pattern. But unfortunately, there is a lack of confidence. There is lack of depth in the market. So we have unfortunately the lowest percentage in the world of the people who are involved in the stock market. So we have 250,000 UINs, unique identification numbers, or for that matter, accounts opened with the Central Depository Company, so which is the lowest in the world actually. So we need to expand our base, one, and we also need to install actually the confidence to the general public and of course to the foreigners that our market is worth investing.
So common man's information. So I was talking to a few members here before the board meeting. They said, we do not have a level playing field. How are we going to make sure that we have that level playing field?
So this was the case with the stock exchange business, because there was no capital gain on the real estate, because there was no documentation required to be done in the real estate. So we always thought that this is because the money is going towards the real estate, which is not a productive thing for any country in the world. As far as the construction industry is concerned, construction is a very, very good thing. But just buying a plot and trying to get the capital gain out of it doesn't, justifies and gives any boost to the economy. So now, for the first time in the history of Pakistan, recently the budget has been prepared, and the budget speech includes the capital gain, and also, if people have parked their money into the raw land or plots, they need to give tax on that. So now we think that these measures will be good for the level playing field.
So one subsidiary question with this question. So we see the stock market was in a free fall. On Friday, it crashed 2,000 points. Billions of dollars lost in capital valuation.
That day, which you are referring to, the Prime Minister of Pakistan made a speech in the morning stating thereby that they are imposing 10% super tax. So that news was a catastrophe for the stock market, and there was a nervousness, and all the investors dumped their shares. Today the market has recovered a little bit, and we think that now the shock has been absorbed. Having said this thing, because of we are an import-based country, and our exports are almost stagnant. In recent years, we have seen from 25 billion US dollars to around 31 billion dollars, which is good as compared to the previous thing, but still it is far behind what the potential is for Pakistan. Then we have another source of revenue, that is the remittance by the overseas Pakistanis in Pakistan. So we have seen growth in that thing also, but we lack FDI, foreign direct investment. So if third component, if we are exporting 30 billion US dollars, if we are receiving remittance worth 30 billion US dollars, it amounts to 60. Even then, our import is 70 plus billion US dollars per annum. So there is a current account, there is a deficit of every year. Mm-hmm. So to meet that, we need to have FDI as well.
Okay.
If FDI happens again in the same amount, maybe $30 billion, then that we would be in surplus.
So this is one of the, so you're proposing one of the solution to Mr Ismail, the finance minister, that instead of managing the existing things, you need to have some kind of arrangement to attract foreign direct investment. Because
exactly.
That is what we are.
That is very, very important. But the main impediment is the political uncertainty of this country. The foreign
who's going to help that? Because again, there's one party coming up blaming the other party blaming the other party.
We want them not to say these things. This is not a good thing for Pakistan.
Political instability is one of the biggest problem why any market is not
exactly.
working.
So giving the wrong signals to foreigners.
Let's talk about good things now. Yeah. So many few Pakistanis know about REIT, and you have led one of the largest REIT in Pakistan. अगर आप हमें बता सकें कि what is REIT and how does that make difference to Pakistan's economy?
So REIT stands for Real Estate Investment Trust. So it's sort of a mutual fund. जैसे म्यूचुअल फंड में आप लोग पैसे देते हैं और वो फिर डिविडेंड वगैरह देते हैं. पाकिस्तान के अंदर रियल स्टेट का पहले जो काम था वो 99% वो अनडॉक्यूमेंटेड था. तो रीट एक डॉक्यूमेंटेड सेक्टर है और उसके रेगुलेटर है सिक्योरिटीज एंड एक्सचेंज कमीशन ऑफ पाकिस्तान। हर शख्स जो है वो करोड़ों की या बिलियंस ऑफ रुपीज़ की इन्वेस्टमेंट करके अपना रियल एस्टेट प्रोजेक्ट नहीं कर सकता। बट अगर एक म्यूचुअल फंड की सूरत में सारे कलेक्टिव पैसे डाल के उसको करते हैं, और उसके ऊपर लॉ भी ये है कि अगर आप उसकी इनकम का 90% डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हैं then there is no tax on it, so that people should come towards the documented economy. So REIT that's why it is very important world over, and especially in the developed countries. REIT is a very successful model. पाकिस्तान के अंदर comparatively new idea है। पाकिस्तान में अभी तक एक एग्जांपल जो लिस्टेड REIT की है वो डॉल्फिन मॉल कराची की है, और सेकंड REIT जो है वो ISE की है। इस्लामाबाद स्टॉक एक्सचेंज ने अपने ज़माने में एक बिल्डिंग बना दी थी, तो जब ISE इस्लामाबाद स्टॉक एक्सचेंज कन्वर्ट हुआ इनटू NBFC तो उन्होंने हमें REIT का लाइसेंस दे दिया टू मैनेज दैट बिल्डिंग। सो वी आर इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ गेटिंग दैट project listed on the Pakistan Stock Exchange so that people can buy their shares, its shares, and can enjoy the dividend and rental income which we are.
So this is also a new avenue where people should come and invest their money, and it has greater return than other markets.
It has the consistent returns. Because this is not a factory, this is a rental property. So we are also looking into the possibility of developmental REIT, which means that we can either put our own money or raise money from the public, and we can start a new real estate project, and through that we can again make handsome profits and can distribute to our shareholders.
Okay, so you are the chairman of Islamabad Stock Exchange, and you also chairman of LSE Financial Service. What is your vision with these two major stakes?
Yes, that's a very good question. Actually, we are trying to, today we had a board meeting in LSE Financial Services, and we are doing the restructuring thing, and the purpose is that we maximize the profit of this company for the benefit of our shareholders. And so is the case with ISE. So our main objective over there is that first of all we should get that company ISE listed on the Pakistan Stock Exchange, and then the moment it is listed on the Pakistan Stock Exchange, we will definitely go for new rental REITs, new developmental REITs.
Okay. And what about LSE Financial Services?
LSE Financial Services के अंदर भी हम आज restructuring plan आज हमने अप्रूव किया है, जो कि हम सिक्योरिटीज एंड एक्सचेंज कमीशन को उनकी फाइनल कंकरेंस के लिए भिजवाना चाह रहे हैं। और उसके अंदर ये है कि इसको भी बाइफरकेट कर रहे हैं इस कंपनी को। इसके अंदर जो ये टावर्स दो बने हुए हैं LSE के, उनको एक अलग कंपनी में कर रहे हैं। फिर एक प्रॉपटेक कंपनी है वो बना रहे हैं, ठीक है, उसके अंदर एसेट्स को लेके जा रहे हैं। फिर हमने 2-3 नए लाइसेंसेस अप्लाई कर दिए हैं SECP को LSE फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज के अंडर, तो जिसके साथ हम ज़्यादा काम करके IPOs करके इस कंपनी को बेनिफिट पहुंचा सकते।
So जो 2 टावर्स की बात की है, this is one of the prime property in Lahore.
Yes.
And it is undervalued, as we discussed.
It is
and this property could become one of the major financial center in Lahore, and you're working towards that, right? The problem is people don't know very less about financial markets. These buildings, for instance, REIT is a very new idea for a lot of people.
Yes, definitely. मैं फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी के ऊपर काफ़ी काम कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन मैं ये भी स्टेटमेंट के साथ साथ मैं ये भी कहना चाहूँगा कि जितना भी काम किया जाए उतना ही कम, क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा काम की ज़रूरत है पाकिस्तान में फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी के हवाले से। तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं कि कॉलेजेस यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में जाते हैं, लेक्चर भी देते हैं उनको जाके, फिर उनके स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं हमारे पास, उनको रियल टाइम स्टॉक एक्सचेंज दिखाते हैं, उनको ब्रीफिंग देते हैं, और इन्वेस्टमेंट और सेविंग कल्चर को प्रमोट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। तो मैं ये समझता हूँ कि पाकिस्तान में जो ना हज़ारों लाखों बैंकर्स हैं, लॉयर्स हैं, डॉक्टर्स हैं, ये सारे पढ़े लिखे हैं। इनको तो कम से कम ये कंसेप्ट क्लियर होना चाहिए कि स्टॉक मार्केट में इन्वेस्टमेंट करना और लॉन्ग टर्म पर्सपेक्टिव से इन्वेस्टमेंट करना कितना फ़ायदेमंद चीज़ है, क्योंकि लोगों में ना परसेप्शन इसकी ख़राब हुई हुई है। हालांकि पाकिस्तान के अंदर जितने भी एसेट क्लासेस हैं, चाहे आपके पैसे बैंक में रखे हैं, कौमी बचत में रखे हैं, गोल्ड खरीद लिया है या रियल एस्टेट खरीद लिया है, तो अगर ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ 30 ईयर्स हम देखते हैं तो सबसे ज़्यादा रिटर्न जो है एवरेज रिटर्न इज़ फ्रॉम दी स्टॉक मार्केट। ठीक है, ये डॉक्यूमेंटेड चीज़ है, ये कोई सुनी सुनाई बात नहीं है, डॉक्यूमेंटेड है कि सबसे ज़्यादा रिटर्न इस एसेट क्लास में। बट चूँकि लोगों में अवेयरनेस नहीं है, तो लोग इस एसेट क्लास की तरफ नहीं आते, बैंक में पैसे रख देते हैं, कौमी बचत में रख देते हैं, रियल एस्टेट ले लेते हैं, और कई लोग कई दफ़ा गलत हाथों में भी चले जाते हैं जहाँ पे उनको प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशन की लालच दी जाती है।
बिल्कुल ऐसे। सो एक पर्सनल सवाल है, मतलब we've covered most of the professional work, we've covered most of his professional expertise, but you have survived the financial crisis, and stock market has been more or less in the financial crisis for a very long period of time. Mr. Zahid already explained its roller coaster journey, but 2008 financial crisis, most of the stockbrokers left their memberships. They were out. They've invested into other businesses. You have survived. You have. The question is, what is that magic wand that you have that not just you just didn't survive, but you also took up many companies which were struggling. You made them better and best. So what is that magic wand?
So सर्वाइवल का मामला इस सारे रोलर कोस्टर से गुजर के आने के बाद तो मैं समझता हूँ कि अल्लाह ताला हैज़ बीन एक्सट्रीमली काइंड अपॉन मी, और बड़े बड़े क्राइसिस को हमने देखा, लेकिन उससे निकलते चले गए। दूसरा मैं ये समझता हूँ कि नीयत का इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा नीयत साफ रखनी चाहिए, और ऑनेस्टी के साथ, डेडिकेशन के साथ काम करना चाहिए। बेसिकली ये जो प्रोफेशन मैंने अडॉप्ट किया है, मैं इसके हवाले से ये समझता हूँ, बल्कि मेरे पास कुछ यंगस्टर्स अगर आते हैं, चाहे वो फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी प्रोग्राम के तहत आते हैं या एम्प्लॉयमेंट के लिए आते हैं, तो मैं इनको ये कहता हूँ कि अनलेस एंड अदरवाइज यू हैव ए पैशन फॉर दिस फील्ड, यू कैन नॉट एक्सेल इन दिस थिंग। सो यू नीड टू हैव ए पैशन। ये 9 to 5 एक जॉब नहीं है कि आप आए और बस मक्खी पे मक्खी मारिए चले गए लोग। आप जो है इसके ऊपर आपको शौक के साथ, और आपको दिल करे कि हाँ हमें इसमें मुझे मज़ा आ रहा है काम करने, ओनली देन यू कैन ग्रो।
ठीक है। So financial literacy is a very important part.
Yes, it is.
And it's a great opportunity. Pakistan is still a developing economy, and for that reason, Pakistan has a great potential. Financial capital market is untapped. It is growing, and for that, if people want to come, they need to be financially literate. And thank you so much, Mr. Zahid,
Most welcome.
for giving us time. Okay, one last question, because we're using the segment for the government as well. Okay, we suggest a solution to their economy, because again they've been asking us कि अच्छा debt management problem को हम किस तरह resolve करें, अच्छा any ideas which could be changing for them, that obviously we have our own ideas, the government would have their own ideas, the opposition have their own ideas. Unfortunately, Pakistan has kind of a democratic system where opposition never presents their own shadow budget like we see in UK or other advanced democracies. So one or two or any solution that you want to propose to the Mr Ismail, to the finance minister, to the government, to circumvent the current crisis.
So one message we are trying to give to all the political parties, not only the sitting government but all the political parties, is that they need to have charter of economy signed among themselves. Because होता क्या है कि जब एक पार्टी इक़्तिदार में होती है, दूसरी ऑपोजिशन वाले उसको वो काम नहीं करने देते, अच्छे रिफॉर्म्स नहीं करने देते। जब ये लोग उस वक्त प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे होते हैं, जब ये ऑपोजिशन में जाते हैं तो उनको नहीं करने देते। उसमें सबसे बड़ा एग्जांपल जो है वो प्राइवेटाइजेशन के हवाले से, स्टेट ओन्ड एंटरप्राइजेज जो कि सख्त लॉस मेकिंग कंपनीज हैं, इनको प्राइवेटाइज करना चाहिए। जब आप सारे पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज़ का देख लीजिएगा उठा के कि जब वो गवर्नमेंट में होते हैं तो वो प्राइवेटाइज करना चाहते हैं, तो उनको अपोजिशन नहीं करने देती, फिर वही अपोजिशन गवर्नमेंट में आ जाती है और जो गवर्नमेंट वाले अपोजिशन में चले जाते हैं फिर उनको नहीं करने देती। फॉर द लास्ट सो मेनी ईयर्स वी आर वॉचिंग दिस थिंग। तो ये ख़त्म होना चाहिए। एक बाकी पॉलिटिक्स करते हैं जो आपस में करते रहे, लेकिन जो इकॉनमी के मेजर्स हैं, मैटर्स हैं, उसके ऊपर पॉलिटिक्स ना करें, उस पर सारे मिलजुल के चीज़ों की बेहतरी के लिए करें। देखें हमारी स्टील मिल, हमारी रेलवेज, हमारी PIA, हमारी इस तरह की बेतहाशा और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हैं जो बिलियंस एंड बिलियंस की हर महीने की लॉसेस कर रही हैं, और वो पाकिस्तान हम जितने वही पैसे जो हैं वो आप हेल्थ पे, एजुकेशन पे, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट के ऊपर भी खर्च कर सकते हैं, बट नहीं है।
Great, great. So on that note, thank you so much. So one of the major solution that has come out of this conversation is that privatization should be prioritized. And you know, charter of economy's charter should be signed between the parties so that there is sustainability, continuity of policies instead of creating roadblocks or bottlenecks for the upcoming political party which is obviously forming the government. So on that note, we'll conclude this show. And thank you so much for giving us time. It was wonderful talking to you in a conversation that was very light, and we covered most of the areas.